Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Northern Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Northern Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
What's up, everyone? Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for a fair bit of live coverage. We got a couple tornado warnings in effect right now. We got one here north of Fort Worth. We also have one in Austin, Texas. We just got another, look at that. We got another severe thunderstorm warning issued here. We're starting in the Fort Worth area. Let's just start by querying this tornado warning here in northern Tarrant County. Includes, I think, Richland Hills, Grapevine, Keller, all that. It is warned for up to ping pong ball size hail. I'm not seeing anything that indicates anything more than quarters right now. We've had quarter size hail in White Settlement. Let's go ahead. Let's bring up velocities. I got to see where, like within here, within 820. Roll back a little bit. I'm trying to see why they tornado warned this as we were getting ready to go live here actually for Austin. So, oh, I see right here. So, can you, like, Frank, can you, like, CC scope, the correlation coefficient scope this right here? And then maybe try to move it around a little bit, see if, because it's a little hard to tell. Move away. So that right there was where your tornado warning is. There is a little bit of lowering in CC, so I understand why they tornado warned it. With that, let's go back to just base reflectivity for everything in here. Let's see what's going on right now. Pushing it ahead to the current time. What is it right now? It is 5:50 here on this live stream. Thanks again to our sponsors for making this all possible. So I'm guessing, let's go, I think we got velocity. We have velocity scope, right? So we don't have to like keep doing the whole thing. All right, so right in here, it's a little messy, but I think right here, Melody Hills, over by where you see that coming together here. You got the reds and the greens showing up. This is going to be south. Whoop, I gotta move a little bit south of it, right south of 820. It's gonna be within the little hook section, a little bean shape of this storm here in the North Richland Hills area of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So overall for hail, if we just go full-on correlation coefficient, I can say pretty confidently there isn't a ton of hail with this. We had some quarter-size hail earlier in White Settlement, but these are very wet systems for sure. There's a ton of rain with this. I mean, it's pouring here in Oklahoma City. It's been raining all day. We haven't had a risk, but for here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, along that northern 820 loop, Fort Worth, right by I-35 West, looks like there could be some hail, but I think overall it's most likely subsevere hail. The big threat is that potential for a tornado somewhere here south of 820 and east of I-35 West. Let's zoom it out a little bit. A lot going on in the region. I got that severe thunderstorm warning for all of Tarrant County. No major hail. This looks kind of like a little bit of a line. Let's, Frank, can you turn off the 1 hour hail tracks as well as the composite radar? I think it's like the HQ something. There we go. Okay, a little less messy now. Excuse me. So we have this one storm over by Saginaw. This one is the tornado warning storm. Let's just kind of move our way to the south here. There's been a bunch of activity, a bunch of tornadoes going on. We did see some 2-inch hail in New Braunfels a little bit earlier. Let's jump into Austin, where we got a bunch going on right now. Here in Austin, Texas, we do have a tornado warning for the city itself of Austin. This is the storm we're looking at here on the south side of Austin, right along I-35. There is your velocities showing. So you got that away and going towards and away from the radar. Just got an update right here. There's your couplet. It's not looking super tight right now. Typically, you want to see a tighter couplet in there, but it would be wrapped in rain. So if there is anything, you got those tornado sirens going off in the city of Austin. It's moving generally pretty much right along I-35 here. So here those tornado sirens get into your tornado safe place. It is warned for quarter-size hail. And population infected, that's a lot, guys. You know, Austin's a very rapidly growing, big-time city. So if anything drops down, we'll know pretty quick, unfortunately. What's the movement at? I think Frank's quite putting it on here. About 35 to the northeast-ish? Yeah, so by 6 o'clock, 6:04, it's going to be in Pershing, I guess. So it's an eastern section, so it's going to cross over 35. And what happened to the large hail going up real quick when storms fire? The storms did fire, and there was some that did have some big hail right away. So far, they have not been doing the hail that it should have been. It's kind of weird how they've been very wet storms, and they've also been kind of close grouped together, especially up in Dallas-Fort Worth. There was a lot of storms grouped together right away, and I think that kind of minimized some of the hail threat here. I'm surprised this thing is not actually dropping a ton of hail. Let's bring up CCs real fast, correlation coefficient, see if there's any hail falling here within. Let's just do the whole thing, CCs, and let's get rid of the scope. We'll just see the entire storm here. Okay, yeah, so that is either... Okay, let's velocity scope this, because this is either hail or that's possibly some tornadic... Ooh, okay. What's the wording on this tornado warning? Because the low CCs where the velocities are...
We've got source is radar indicated rotation, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour, tornado and quarter-size hail. It's warned for.
Yes, we did. Yeah, 2-inch hail did happen in New Braunfels. It happened a little while ago. We were unable to go live when it happened, but this could be concerning. This could actually, that could be something there. We'll keep an eye on that. We're going to kind of keep jumping around. Let's go back to reflectivity and zoom out a bit here, see what's going on. People are getting mad at me, I see. we got another big time storm. This one formed pretty much on top of San Antonio. That was a thing we were a little concerned about, that something would form on San Antonio and then not get its act together until it went east. This thing isn't going to hit too many people, but this is racing off to the east here. That's tornado warned. Probably very likely end up having a tornado with it. Yeah, look at that. That could just north of I-10. That very, very possibly has a tornado with it right now. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but this one is pretty rural. So I think we're going to probably focus mostly on population centers for now. Again, we had that 2-inch hail up by New Braunfels. We have a tornado warning here in Austin. Let's see what's going on in Round Rock here. Okay, we got a tornado warning up by Jarrell.
Tornado warnings here, just north.
Okay. Oh man, which radar are we trying to pick up from? It's looking pretty messy here by Jarrell. Dang. Okay, we got a bunch of different things going on. The GRK not working. Is that what's happening? Move it off to the east a little bit. Okay, yeah, GRK just isn't loading, I guess. That's fine.
That one.
That sucks. Okay, so here we got Georgetown. Oh yeah, there's your tornado warning there. So that's just north of Georgetown, the far northern reaches of this area. He's been avoiding that question so far. I'm trying to keep a little bit on the questions, but also doing cover same time, guys. Are you able to see on there, Frank, on the actual screen questions on Open Broadcaster? They're still on there. I think somebody's asked about Houston for later. Is that the question?
Yeah, George said, how is Houston looking later tonight?
That's going to be later, probably after midnight. I think hail chances, just based off of what's happening so far, I think hail chances are going to be probably low. I think I had it low at noon, and I'm going to maintain low chances for hail for tonight. I think the wind, heavy rain, tornado threat's much higher. We've got some thunder here at the office. Let's go back up to DFW. Let's check up on Dallas. I know that's probably our main viewer base here anyway. And yeah, we're looking pretty squall liney here. I'm surprised everything fired all up at once. So how about College Station, Bryan for hail? That's going to be a little later. That's going to be probably after 8 or 9 o'clock as all this stuff shifts off to the east. If this stuff can stay isolated, the tornado threat's going to be a little higher. Not seeing too much. With a tornado? Okay, let's go down to Round Rock. Let's ignore this. But again, we got a whole bunch of stuff, so we're going to go down.
I'm not seeing much for velocities on that one.
Yeah. Anyway. So Round Rock, so that's going to be north of Austin. So there's Pflugerville. Here's Round Rock. Let's bring up velocities real quick. Just overall, let's just whole thing velocities. Okay, there you go. So there you go. Let's do whole thing velocities. And then go CC scope so we can see within right there. Okay, so that's a tornado, guys. Yeah, that's a tornado in Round Rock right now. Overall hail, I don't think too much. It doesn't look like too much, but oh my God, yeah, this is very densely populated. So where you're seeing that lower, the greens and the yellows usually talk about hail, it also picks up debris of stuff getting picked up from a tornado here. So like Green Lawn Boulevard, anywhere, somewhere in here, you got a tornado going on, tossing up some debris. Let's zoom it out and try to time out where this is going here. So here it is in Round Rock. I'm assuming it's moving northeastward, probably through Georgetown and Taylor. Okay, clear out the scope. Yeah. So, yeah, we got Justin's out chasing, so we got Frank on here for the first time in a little while, so he hasn't been doing too much. So yeah, right here in Round Rock, I'd say the tornado is ongoing right now. It's only severe thunderstorm warning. I'm sure we'll get a tornado warning very soon. The radar indication is showing that there's a tornado. Again, not too much in the way of hail. This hail seems to be not really happening too much for some reason, but we do have. It's hard. So let's see, we're moving generally east-northeast. So Hutto, okay, tornado warning now, just issued here for the Round Rock area. Let's clear that out and let's just query what we got. I'm assuming confirmed tornado ongoing in Round Rock, Texas. So this is a suburb to the north of Austin. There's a bunch of tornado warnings going on right now, but this is one that I can say for sure is happening at this exact moment.
So that's moving northeast at 35.
Northeast at 35, okay.
Push that out here.
All right, so we got Hutto, Jonah, Circleville, Granger, Hare, all coming up here. Oop, I lost the times on it, but I'd say let's just clear this out, and we're gonna, since we have the roads, let's just zoom in pretty far here. So we got, here is where you got that tornado ongoing here in Round Rock. So downstream from this, if it's moving about 30 miles an hour, hang on, we're in too close. Let's zoom in a little bit, zoom out a little bit so we can see like probably the main road that's coming up here. This next radar update is likely going to bring us along 79. So we're going to cross over to 79, and the neighborhoods north of here is where we'll likely see potential for that tornado. And again, I know folks are saying, hey, you know, you're saying baseballs. Everything was looking like that. Unfortunately, sometimes weather does things that we are unable to predict. Sometimes everything goes up in a line really fast. Here in Dallas, basically you had a tornado that moved through the Jacksboro area. It shot out an outflow boundary, which lit up the whole atmosphere, thus causing a squall line. That's the type of small scale stuff that we try really hard to predict ahead of time. About 5 hours ago, it looked like it was going to happen, and it's something that's going on in real time as it's updating in here. Is there hail in Keller? We'll check that out in just a second. I know there was smaller hail in there. We had quarter-size hail in White Settlement and continued moving to the north and to the east with smaller hail mixed in there. We have a tornado right now along Highway 79 in Round Rock, continuing off to the north and east. Let's see velocities of this thing. So this is the correlation coefficient, that's the debris ball you're seeing. Okay, velocities are a little intense. So the debris ball is showing up. The velocities are a little messy here as we're there's a lot going on at once. But that debris ball, that is where your tornado is going to be at right now along Highway 79 and Round Rock, moving off to the north and east about 30 miles an hour. Let's go back to normal reflectivity, zoom out a little bit, and I'm trying to reset a little bit here, guys. Okay, let's go down here into Austin. Okay, so we got a tornado warning. We've got a couple different tornado warnings here in Austin, Texas right now. Okay, we got, doesn't look like any, go to correlation coefficient now, so I'm seeing velocities, nothing too crazy. Okay, so we have lower CCs in here, and it's a little messy. I'll go back to last. Yeah, here's our couple different, maybe, and over here. Hearing about golf ball size hail in Keller. Hang on, guys. I'm going to try to look on my phone at the same time. Fortunately, we have a lot happening at the same time here, so I'm trying to, let's see, Keller. I see MPing reports of half-inch hail, pea-size hail from a couple minutes ago. But nothing other than that at the moment. So we have this tornado warning storm here in Austin. As far as I can tell, there isn't anything. We have that tornado report now in Round Rock. Let's query that. That's like a for sure tornado report. Okay, just a train spotter, a funnel cloud. Okay, so what we were seeing on radar, we were seeing that correlation coefficient, seeing that debris ball showing up. That indicates that something is on the ground in the Round Rock area. Let's go up to Dallas now, because I see some folks asking. It's in Greenlawn. Okay. Okay, let's go up north by Keller. People are saying that there are reports of golf balls. Is it warned for golf balls? Can we query this warning real quick? The one where my hand's at by Grapevine. Okay, it's warned for ping pong balls. Does it say that there's any spot reports in the off-screen warning information?
It does not. It says radar indicated.
Okay. Okay, let's clear this out. Let's look at correlation coefficient, see if there's any lowering here along Highway 377. A little bit. I mean, maybe some quarters. This isn't looking super impressive. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. Like there could very well be some hail in here, folks, and if there is a golf ball report, I guarantee you this is going to be like some isolated golf balls. There's not going to be a lot in here as we have, yeah, that's looking nothing too super impressive. Honestly, the way the hail has been playing out so far today has been a little surprising. There hasn't been a whole hell of a lot of it. I think there was definitely some bigger hail out in the rural areas north of San Antonio. It just didn't quite make it to the Austin, Texas area. Okay. All right. So it looks like the tornado warning was dropped here in the Fort Worth area, so that's good. And then, but overall for hail, I mean, I was seeing half-inch and pea-size reports showing up in Keller on MPing. Overall, I'm not seeing too much anything crazy. You guys see anything otherwise, send us some pictures and whatnot. Other members of the team are keeping a close eye on this. So again, let's kind of go out regional a little bit, showing DFW itself. We have turned into a squall line, which unfortunately was not modeled and unexpected. But again, we had that one tornadic storm that went off and it fired off the whole sky. When you're getting super unstable like this, that does make it so a chance to go live. That's why we had a moderate chance here for DFW. Unfortunately, it makes it so the big time hail is a little fewer and far between. Further down to the south, though, the main threat area was for Austin, Texas. Unfortunately, it's looking like the hail threat isn't as much, and now the tornado threat is what's happening right now. Let's go ahead and check out our report on tornado on the ground rock. That makes sense. Let's see correlation. Jump straight to just correlation coefficient. See if we still have a debris ball. I'm not seeing one right now. That's good. Let's kind of roll it back a couple minutes since we haven't been looking at it real close. Okay, so boom, there's your tornado right there, moving off to the north and to the east. And notice how the CCs have kind of disappeared. You don't see the greens and yellows anymore. That's a good sign. That looks like the tornado likely has lifted as it went across Highway 79. Let's look at velocities now, see if we have any. Okay, there still is definitely rotation here. Let's zoom in right where this couplet's at. So that's going to be crossing Highway 130, I want to say, 130 right there, pretty soon. And then getting to County Road 118, moving northeast, probably by the time, yeah, it looks like it's probably already over here by now if this radar is at all delayed. Again, these are snapshots of what's happening at the moment. County Road 130, again, this is pulling away from Round Rock a little bit, but there's still a fair bit of population here moving towards Jonah. You're next. I would definitely get into your tornado safe place. It's very possible this could drop a tornado down pretty much at any time. Let's go back to just regular reflectivity. And a storm continuing moving off to the east, so if there's a tornado, it would be down in here. Let's do correlation coefficient again, just overall. Okay, roll it back a tiny bit. Okay, move it back to now. Okay, there's non-zero chance that it could be something, or again, so this tornado warning definitely still worth being issued here a lot in Hutto, right along Highway 79. That's where your couplet is. Notice CC is lowered a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if that could be something on the ground again, or it's hopscotching, or whatever it may be. Let's get back down. Let's go down to the center of Austin now. Let's go back to reflectivity. Just regular radar. Okay, we got another update there. Let's see what's happening in Austin. This storm is looking pretty messy. I know it's still tornado warned, and there are a million tornado warnings in here, so we'll just kind of jump into reflectivity, see if there's, or jump into velocities and see if there's anything there of interesting note. There's rotation. It looks like a lot of mid-level rotation. If we go to correlation coefficient, is there any kind of, I mean, there's lowering CCs, so it's possible we could have maybe a little bit of hail in there, but we also have not, can you, Frank, are you able to click on and query the little mezzo here, the little spinning arrow? You have to like click on the actual arrow. It's a little obnoxious. Okay, so it's keeping that hail size pretty small. So I think the severe hail is still pretty minimal. Again, you know, it's a little surprising that we haven't had super big hail within these storms. It seems like a lot of them formed very close to each other, and it kind of kept them from being able to stay isolated long enough to make. We did
have decent hail near San Antonio, though.
We did, yeah. There is definitely some big time hail that was very close to San Antonio. Again, we had that 2-inch hail in New Braunfels, so the storms did start dropping hail. And is that another storm trying to form down here by south of Austin? Or is that just a remnant storm? Okay, so there's a new storm. So it looks like we've got some new activity trying to form here between San Marcos and Austin, Texas. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Again, this tornado warning storm here in Austin, I'm not seeing anything at this exact moment to say is confirmed. Maybe we'll try to query this one to the south here. Does it say confirmed, or is it just radar indicated?
It says radar indicated.
Radar indicated, okay. So nothing confirmed within Austin that I know of at this exact second. We can close this out. Again, tornado warnings are in effect for Austin and for areas east all the way to about Elgin. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect as well. Off to the north, we've had a tornado confirmed in Round Rock. Let's see if there is anything now. Let's go. It was right along 183. Here is where your couplet's at. It's going to be rain wrapped, so you won't be able to see it if there is anything on the ground. Live in Austin, 2 confirmed tornadoes. Storm near Cave 2. Okay, looks like there might be something on the ground again, possibly. Oh, this seems like that's out of date. Let's just do. Yeah, that's out. That seems to be a little behind. Let's just get rid of the scope and just go straight up CCs. Okay, yeah. So there's probably a tornado right here. So that might be a second tornado that had formed. It's now east of 130, moving off to the northeast pretty quick here. So it's kind of looks like we might be having a tornadic storm going hopscotching along here, heading off to the north and to the east towards County Road 133 very soon. So let's kind of reset a little bit. I know we're jumping all over the place, but there's a lot of severe weather happening right now. This is in Hutto. It's going to be pulling away from more dense population. We have a storm here in Austin where, again, I think somebody was saying it's sometimes a little hard for me to see the comments as well, being backlit against some of the white words. But it's very possible we might have had another confirmed tornado. We're trying to keep up with everything in here within these streams. But the crazy part, honestly, the thing that has surprised me is the lack of hail. We're going to have to kind of look back, and same for Round Rock. Yes, these storms definitely aren't really dropping too much in the way of hail. They're dropping some tornadoes, but the hail seems to have been weirdly minimal. This is going to end up being a case of we're going to look back and see, what went wrong. It's always the tiniest little thing can sometimes screw up a hail potential. Down to the south here, let's go even south of Austin. Just see the other storms that are ongoing. We have another tornado. Looks like it was reported here by Lulling. We had a tornado north of I-10. Again, this is a more isolated storm. I bet this one's going to keep going for quite some time because it's all by itself. And if we go over towards San Antonio, I'm going to assume that there's nothing else happening back in the San Antonio area. Yeah, so here's that dry line, right? So this line, San Antonio, you're done. That was the part that was the real risk for San Antonio, was storms were going to form right on top of you or just to your east. That's kind of what happened. You had them go up and had some smaller hail and move off. New Braunfels, you guys had up to some 2-inch hail a little bit earlier. Luling, okay, that's the name of it. All right, and then so San Antonio, your risk is now done. The storm by Luling, you're now moving off to the east. I see this over here by Austin. I see the way this is kind of hooking. That might be a bit of an issue here. Let's bring up velocities. Okay, that seems to be a little offset from what I'd expect. Bring up correlation coefficient. Okay, I'm not seeing anything to indicate anything's currently on the ground, but it does seem like there's some very least mid-level rotation or weak rotation, low-level rotation with this part of the storm here in Austin, just east of 183 near Garfield. So I have to keep an eye on this. Storm isn't looking as impressive as it did before. We're also only operating off of one radar for some reason. So that one is there here in Pflugerville. That's not really too much in the way of any hail with this. Again, it's surprising. Mother Nature can surprise us sometimes. Let's see the storm here. This one that had tornadoes in the Round Rock area. Let's just jump straight to correlation coefficient, see if I can see a debris ball. Okay, not so much. Go to velocities, and there's still a bit of a rotation in here. However, it doesn't look as intense as it did a little while ago when it did have a tornado with it, and appears now to not be as intense. So back to reflectivity. Let's go check out Dallas-Fort Worth off to the north and to the east.
Oh wait, we got another tornado warning here.
Which one? Oh, got one here now. Okay, right along Salado.
Yeah, now this is getting tough because we're so far from the radar. So
yeah. For some reason, one of our radars isn't showing up on here, so we're not gonna be able to see this one, unfortunately, guys. With near Temple. Okay, I don't know what happened to one of our radars. Didn't seem to load up. So, yeah, here in Dallas. Oh, we got another tornado warning in Dallas. Okay, so we have a tornado warning now. This does include the international airport. Okay. Yeah, hail is definitely not a threat. For some reason, again, we went squall line on this, even knowing everything was indicating we were going to have lots of more isolated cells. So that seems to be what happens. I may have gone ahead and I know some of you guys who've watched College Station's radars. Now, of course, this stupid GRK is a piece of garbage. I'm going to guess that we bring up the velocities here in Grapevine. Oh, okay, it might have actually updated already. Bring up correlation coefficient. Oh, okay. All right, well then just going back to reflectivity, it's very possible that down in here where you're seeing a bit of that curl, It might be a quick spin-up tornado in the Grapevine area, moving off to the north and east towards I-35 east. And, whoop, man. All right, dang, got some loud lightning.
Some
Thunder
good thunder at the office right now.
Yeah, big time thunder at the office. So, no severe thunderstorms here in Oklahoma City, though. So, looking here in Grapevine, this is likely where that velocity is. Or they're picking up something. Were there any other details in the warning that were saying that they, spotters spotted something?
Radar indicated rotation.
Radar indicated rotation here for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay, so I'm assuming it's going to be by the Grapevine. It's going to head towards the Carrollton area, crossing over pretty much right where DFW International is right now. And let's see. Again, let's try to check out velocity one more time, see if we can actually see anything. I mean, golly, man, let's roll it back or something. It's looking really messy. And it looks super messy here. Yeah, sirens going off in McKinney. Yes, they are. So if we go back to, let's just kind of go back to current time and regular old radar. Zoom it out a little bit. We can point out everybody who is in this warning here. So we got Grapevine, portions of Louisville, Carrollton, Plano, Frisco. I guess sirens going off in McKinney, depends on where in McKinney you're at, or they're just preemptively doing it. That's all under a tornado warning here. Yeah, sirens popped off 20 minutes ago in Fort Worth. That makes sense. Yeah, so if you're in McKinney, 6:56 is when this will likely get there. The Colony at 6:35. It's 6:18 right now. Frisco at 6:42. Allen at 6:50. So these storms are moving not super fast. Again, that tornado potential is going to be right here at the end of the little hook right there, a little curly Q, pretty much right over the airport. And if it's anything, it's going to be likely something kind of quick. This isn't looking like some kind of long track tornado right now. I mean, when we were looking at velocities, I was having a hard time figuring out exactly where those intense velocities may be. It might be showing up better on the terminal radar that is in Dallas or something right by the airport. But I mean, this looks like straight line winds. Will be windy for sure. Probably winds in excess of 60 miles an hour here, probably at the airport. We'll probably get a
anything, it'd be like in this area.
That'll either be the couple that we're looking at right over, again, very close to the airport, or it's just noise. It's really hard to tell right now looking at it, but it makes sense that that's where your rotation will be. Whenever you get like a little curly Q kind of sticking out ahead of the line, that's usually where you see kind of a spin-up tornado happen. Again, it doesn't look like it's going to be something like violent or anything, but a tornado possibly nonetheless. So if you are, you're hearing sirens, getting your tornado safe place as always. Again, these things kind of pop up really quick. Let's see, it's showing the meso. So I'm assuming if we went back to velocities, maybe as we got the update here, it looks a little better. No, not really. Not really. So again, that tornado warning definitely just, again, right in here, pretty much right where Tarrant, Dallas, and Denton counties all come together. That's where you want, that's where you're most likely seeing any kind of rotation. And then moving off to the north and east, what is it, about 30, Frank? Something like that? 30 miles an hour?
45.
45, so it's hauling pretty quick. So moving northeast about 45 miles an hour. Okay, so that's what's happening in Dallas. Elsewhere, again, we kind of turned into a bit of a squall line here, unfortunately. Again, things happen. Nothing's in the world of weather. Almost nothing is guaranteed, it seems. We'll go down back towards the Dallas area. We see more tornado reports have shown up, and that does seem to correlate with what we were seeing here, where we had that debris ball showing up. We had a tornado with damage on the north side of Hutto. We have another one off to the east here. Looks like public reports tornado on the ground 5 miles west of Taylor. And then this looks like the latest report here. We have tornado ground 5 miles. Wait, is that the same exact thing? Oh, ham radio report of a tornado on the ground. So it looks like tornado might still be ongoing. Let's check out again, we're getting a little far away from the radar that we're utilizing, so it's going to be a little harder for us to really pinpoint. Let's see if we got correlation coefficient showing up. Okay, so that debris ball is still kind of visible. I know it's getting messy. We're getting farther away from that available radar, but the fact that you're seeing debris being pulled up as high into the atmosphere as it is means that there's likely at least a strong, very possibly a strong tornado happening, pulling into the Taylor area here in Williamson County. And there's still folks here. It's not as densely populated as that Round Rock tornado was a little earlier, but there's still quite a few people in range of this thing, right along County Road 346 and County Road 347. You're next up as it keeps moving off to the north and east. So again, this is an ongoing situation. There's multiple confirmed reports of a tornado. So if you are in the path of this, you're hearing your sirens, your phone's going off, whatever it is, get in your tornado shelter, your safe place, interior room of your house, closet, bathtub, put the mattress over you, whatever you gotta do if you're in the path of this thing. I'm assuming the warning here has been updated. We have been getting reports it may have been baseball-sized hail as well as tornado warnings. Okay, we'll have to check in on that. Again, we're jumping around, kind of covering tornadoes quite a bit right now. If we get confirmation of any baseball-sized hail, we'll be sure to let you know right away.
This one is radar confirmed.
Radar confirmed, okay. So we don't have spotters on this one right now. Were they particular, was it we might have had a PDS warning when it was in Round Rock, we just didn't see it. Let's go back to reflectivity here. So this storm was the beast that keeps making tornadoes, saying northern parts of Taylor and Granger now, and that's gonna keep moving off to the north and east. It's gonna pull out of Williamson County probably in the next 20 minutes or so. It's 6:23 right now. It's moving northeast at 40 or so. So by 6:40, it'll be in Davila, Buckholtz by 6:56, and by 7 Edgeworth. Thankfully, notice how there's some big gaps. That means the population is going to very quickly get a lot more rural, thankfully, so there won't be as many people impacted by this down the line. Let's go now back down to the south a little bit. Let's see what's happening in Austin itself. Oh, wow, dang, that sure looks more like a more tornado-friendly supercell. Dang, yeah, there's quite a bit of rotation in this thing here in the east side of Austin. What's this warned for, Frank? Here, just east of Austin. It's warned for quarters. Okay, for Garfield and Weberville. Radar indicated. Okay, let's go back to reflectivity. I mean, it's pretty clear. Here, I'm having my hand. I'm keeping my finger right here, and then go back to velocities. Oh, is the timing off or something from the velocities and the radar? It's possible. It's possible because let's just stick with reflectivity because it's pretty clear where a tornado would be within the storm. It's gonna be right here, right? It's gonna be right at the end of the storm, right. So we can zoom in on this actually. Yeah, I mean there might potentially be something that could be forming here. Let's just zoom in on just on reflectivity. Let's clear this out. Let's just see if we can get some roads. There's the update. So we got Man O' War Drive in Weberville. I'm assuming now the velocities are going to match up because the radar just updated. Kind of, yeah. It looks like it's offset a tiny bit, but nonetheless, we're seeing that. Yeah, we got this covering up here. That is definitely indication that there could be at least attempts at a tornado here in the eastern sections of the Austin area. So this is Weberville, again, along Man O' War Drive, and areas just to the north and to the east, like this neighborhood here, may be seeing that potential for something very soon. Or what is that? Huh, nothing's showing up. Weird. So something in Weberville here as that's moving off to the north and east. So let's zoom it out a little bit again. Let's just see all of Austin, Texas. This in relation to the rest of the city. Here is downtown. This is the storm. This is far eastern sections of Travis County. We're getting another radar. Nope, no more radar update here. This is heading towards Manor and Elgin, especially Elgin here, pretty much riding right along this severe thunderstorm warning line. So we are east of Highway 183. There may be some hail with this if we kind of check on C3, the cc's again. Yeah, that's so this is one of two things. It's either hail or it's debris being lofted by a tornado that actually happened. Let's kind of roll the radar back and see if we can find out which one. Okay, it might just be some hail. But yeah, there may be some hail with this here within the area of the storm itself. I'm gonna try to bring up my phone really fast and see if I can see some other stuff on here. Radar scope hasn't updated for me in a minute either, so that's unfortunate. Frank's tracking this thing out. Elgin, this will be it's tracking straight for Elgin here at 646, so it's 627 right now. Saying a rotating wall cloud a few minutes ago. A lot of different tornado reports. Oh, my Dallas radar finally updated. I think we may have to jump back over to Dallas here in a minute. So we have, okay, so yeah, that tornado warning. Let's jump up. All right, there we go. So 3/4 inch hail reported in Bartonville. So again, maintaining that smaller hail in here. But look at this very likely, even if there isn't a tornado, very likely some pretty strong winds with that. Let's jump into on here. I-35 east, that's racing off to the northeast. And cool, people are recommend. You guys are always welcome to watch, whichever coverage you're welcome to watch here. So gusty winds here right along the forward flank of this. Looks like it's gusting out across I-35 east. Probably some strong winds within right along I-35 east in Carrollton. Very likely in excess of 60, 65 miles an hour, right where the George Bush Turnpike meets up with I-35 east in Carrollton, and that is racing off to the north and to the east. So downstream from here a little bit, we got Plano and Hebron and the rest of Carrollton all within risk of seeing, again, probably some pretty gusty winds with this, possibly in excess of 65 miles an hour. Dang, man, comment section is blowing up, man. Guess we got some fans here, Josh, thank you. So let's bring it out here. Again, this storm looks like we are pretty much straight up just winds. Doesn't look like there is a lot of gusty winds. Is that tornado warning just update? Let's kind of check that one up here.
No, still just radar indicated.
Just radar indicated, yeah. So I think the gusty winds is likely what is in control of this here in the Carrollton area. Again, that wind's likely over 60 miles an hour. Let's zoom it out, show all of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro. Again, fortunately, it looks like we have gone to squall line. It is something that happens, unfortunately, with severe weather days, especially the higher end risk days. This happens a lot in the southeast as well. You get so much forcing sometimes that everything just kind of gets very wet instead of a big storm. So let's go down to all the way back down to the Dallas area. Somebody's saying something about Pflugerville.
I think we got 2 more tornado reports here.
We do. Yeah, this thing is still pumping out tornadoes. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a tornado machine here for the rest of the evening. Okay, tornado ground on via Twitter as of a couple minutes ago, so it looks like it's still going on. Yeah, unfortunately that radar is still just keeps going. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the comments in there, the frustrations. We get frustrated too. I don't like giving out a wrong forecast. Sometimes we put in there that potential, but sometimes things end up not panning out the way we expect. If they panned out every single time, I mean, hell, that'd be great. There wouldn't be jokes about me being wrong all the time and having a job still. So, you know, that's how it rolls. So, looks like we definitely have a pretty intense, much more intense looking couplet here than we had the last time we checked. And I think there was a tornado with this last time, right, Frank? I'm starting to get a little mixed mash, trying to keep an eye on everything, seeing the comments, trying to look at.
This one, I don't remember it being confirmed.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So if we didn't have it confirmed, I'm not seeing anything on the ground, but it definitely is a fair bit more intense looking on the velocities here, guys. I mean, it's looking a little messy, but there is still that potential for some storms. I mean, our WSI system is going, oh my God, tornadoes, look at the stuff on here. So multiple radars indicating you're getting that rotation ongoing. So if there is anything on the ground, I won't be surprised a couple funnels might be showing up, or at the very least a pretty noticeably rotating wall cloud as this keeps moving to the north and east towards
This
Elgin.
warning says radar confirmed.
Radar confirmed, so that we did indeed have something on there. Probably in the Weberville area, and that's still moving towards Elgin here. So this is east of Austin. So here's Manor, here's Highway 290, here's Elgin. It's pretty much right, is this the edge of Travis County? Yeah, so right at the edge of Travis County, moving off to northeast. If there is a tornado currently happening, it's going to be right in here. Again, we have a bunch of different stuff. Power outages in Carrollton right now, that makes sense. Again, it looks like we're seeing very strong winds with that. I can't make an estimate right off of just seeing some of the velocities on here, other than it's likely over 60, possibly even over 70. We'll have to go check back in on that again. Give a shout out to JR Contracting. Okay, there we go. They got that in there for you guys. And of course, you know, we gotta thank our sponsors. We gotta pay the bills. You know what I mean? So, so that's what we're seeing here. This is pulling away from Austin itself. Let's check out what else is in the Austin area. Looks like we have another storm. Looks like we might have some other stuff trying to form, but nothing severe right now. Most of the city of Austin, you're not in any sort of severe weather at the moment. But it looks like this stuff here off to the south, that doesn't look like it's anything too crazy either. So we're going to jump back now to probably the Dallas area. I know we're kind of going back and forth. Unfortunately, the middle section I can't cover too much because we don't have very good radar coverage. Frank, how about we switch to velocities, right? And I think we have a number query. I think this is like a little question mark or something. It's probably next to main query, I want to say. And we'll see if we can kind of click around. Maybe we can get like a decent wind reading on this. Half-inch hail and flower mountain. That makes sense. It was very shear 55. Okay, so we actually are, we can pick up, let's just kind of click around, see what else we can get anything here. 68, okay. Well, yeah, you have to clear it out each time. Again, shout out to Frank. Justin's been really he's been real into doing the producing recently, so the rest of the team hasn't had a chance to really produce too much, so, you know, apologize sometimes. So it looks like winds. Looks like winds are generally in the 60s. Just showing up, clicking around in here. I'm sure we'll get some confirmed reports in a little bit, or if anyone in the Weather Center replies to us about anything. Elgin, okay, got it. We can confirm that with you guys, but we'll jump right back to reflectivity here. Let's zoom out for all of DFW. All right, so I saw a couple questions asking about here in the Metroplex for any more hail. Unfortunately, it looks like this squall line is now moving to the east, and that's going to kill probably the remainder of the risk. Down further south towards...
Josh wants to know if Waco is going to get anything later.
Waco, anything later? Let's just kind of move further south and just kind of see what's happening at the moment in the Waco area, or west of Waco, really. Okay, so there's Hillsboro, there's Elmont, and there's Waco. So we have some storms off to your west, and then, so it's possible these haven't been producing the big hail, and it looks like the big hail may end up being a bit of a bust, unfortunately, even knowing I was pretty confident, but you know, I'm wrong sometimes, happens. Keeps you humble, you know what I mean? So there are some storms off to your west. We'll be keeping an eye on this as they move towards the Waco area. You guys have been untouched so far, so you could still see some storms here in the Waco area a little bit later. The majority of the tornadic activity clearly is off to the south here. I think this is going to continue into the night. So areas downstream like College Station and Bryan may be affected as well. I'm assuming these are wind reports, I think. Media reports of damage to barns, houses, and a billboard along Highway 29 east of Jonah. Okay, here's another wind report down in the Round Rock area as well. Reports of damage to portions of Williamson County Recycling Center. Oh no, that's not good. And then here, reports of an overturned tractor trailer on I-35 and US 45. That's scary. You don't want to hit with a tornado there, guys. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. People asking about Pflugerville. Everything's east of Pflugerville right now. Round Rock, the worst has happened already. The tornado has already passed. There are some other storms trying to form off to the west. Nothing is severe currently at the moment. A ton of tornado warnings off to the east. Very likely we still have a tornado ongoing, possibly outside of Williamson County. And then, but again, we're getting far away from the radar. And again, I wish we could look a little bit more. We don't have one of the radars is offline, and that is unfortunately one of the core ones that we use. So we'll have to wait for that to come back. So yeah, right here, heading pretty much right for Elgin itself, we have very possibly a tornado ongoing. Will the tornado go to Conroe? That is way down the line, guys. We're looking at what's happening at this exact moment. So let's let me go back to correlation coefficient. I missed that. It does, yeah. Oh yeah, tornado right there, guys. Pretty clear cut. Crap, we might have. I might not have the roads loaded in this county. Let's zoom in and see if we do. Yeah, that's right. We are right on the other side of that county line. We only had Travis County and Williamson County loaded up. I can't load up all of Texas. It crashes the system, so I had to focus on the population centers. But we are now moving east. Where this is at, it continues going off to the north and east. Man, we are blown up in the comments here, guys. So this is heading right for Elgin. So if you are in Elgin itself, I'm assuming this is is this a particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning now?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning. We have confirmed tornado on the ground here, heading right for the town of Elgin, Texas. So if you're watching this, you guys are in the Elgin area, I'm seeing a ton of comments, a lot of YouTube comments. It's surprising. Usually YouTube isn't super active, but you guys are chatting now. And if you're in Elgin, you're watching this, get into the most interior room of your house, get into your tornado shelter, get into a bathtub if you have no other options, because there's a tornado going on right now, and it looks like we have, this just came in a second ago, that's tornado report. Next 7 minutes, we're gonna be in Elgin here. So you have some time to get yourself into your tornado safe place. This thing's coming. Let's see what this report is. You might be able to see it coming. Okay, yeah, so confirmed spot tornado on the ground approximately 3 miles to the southwest of Elgin. So you can see the tornado coming, but I advise getting your tornado safe place. You don't want to get yourselves into a hairy situation because you just want to see it and you don't realize it might be coming right at you. Whoop. You tried there, Frank. You're good. All right, let's go to correlation coefficient. We're indicating that debris ball here. Yeah, oh man, oh, but that's not good. If you go back just even like one frame, we have, yeah, we got a much bigger debris ball. This is probably a pretty, let's go velocities just real quick. Yeah, probably a pretty intense tornado here, guys. Strong tornado ongoing. Just to the southwest of Elgin, and it's heading right for town. Oh, my phone's ringing. We're just gonna go ahead and cancel that. So let's go back to reflectivity. I'm seeing a lot of people all over the place asking. We got a lot of stuff going on. Let's zoom it out. Let's just see what's happening in Austin right now. Okay, so again, this is the biggest storm at the moment. This is one by Elgin. That one has a tornado on the ground, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning there for Elgin. Moving off to the north a little bit here, over by Temple. Dang. Again, I can't see too much. I don't want to linger on this too far. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, it looks pretty rough in here. Dang, man, leave me alone. Okay, let's go off to the north a bit more. Over here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. No severe thunderstorm warning except for here in the Plano area where it's still got that little hook in here. Let's see if the velocities are showing anything interesting. No, it's still just probably straight line intense winds. So that's going to be now in southwestern sections of Collin County. So that's going to be in Plano, winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. I know I saw in the comments somebody saying that power was going out in areas of Carrollton, and that's going to keep moving off to that north and to the east. So I think in Plano right now, if we zoom in a little bit, this is probably the area where your strongest winds are and your potential for any kind of little spin-up tornadoes, quick spin-up tornadoes. Oh, Lord. Yeah, there we go. You know, it's you're in Dallas when Dallas-Fort Worth when the roads come up and everything gets intense. Pretty much west of Highway 75 in Plano, you're likely going to see some strong gusty winds as we keep pushing off to the north and to the east. Areas with gusty winds probably right now, just based off of the fact that the radar is a snapshot from a little while ago. Let's zoom in just like pretty much where my hand's at here, Frank. And so folks along Fountainhead Drive or Maumelle Drive, you're going to see some very strong winds in excess of 60 miles an hour here very, very soon. So let's zoom out a bit here. So again, Collin County, that's the only area where you're going to probably see anything that is considered to be truly like severe weather. The rest of this is going to be heavy rain, much needed. I know here in Oklahoma City, we were experiencing this yesterday. I know in Texas as well, there were a lot of terrible fires yesterday because it was so dry. So regardless, this rain is always a welcome sight. We don't want to see horrible big wildfires. So that's what we're seeing here. This tornado warning, I don't think we've had anything confirmed, unless that was the phone call I was getting.
Nope, radar indicated rotation.
Okay. Yeah, so the airport I know the airport got really strong winds. I'm still waiting for that LSR. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten a LSR report.
This last radar frame looks a little more hooky.
Oh yeah, this does. That could be a little spin-up tornado trying to get its act together here. There it is. Yeah, we might get a little spin-up tornado here in Plano and Frisco. Okay, we don't see anything on, but like it might be getting ready. So let's zoom in. So this is in getting good hail north of. Give me a heads up on what you're seeing for size there, Wes. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place. Higgins Lane, Marchman Way. You could see a spin-up tornado. This would be very fast. You're not going to see it, okay? You're going to probably just see crazy winds, if anything, some trees coming down, whatnot, but you're probably not going to see too much. Let's just go back to reflectivity so we can just pretty easily see this is where it is. If you're going to have any kind of spin-up tornado happen, it'll be within here. Now, I don't know Dallas's severe weather coverage, how it compares to like Oklahoma City. I know Oklahoma City, we get helicopters out here all the time. If you guys got helicopters on here, your local news got a chaser on this, I would definitely switch over to that. We don't have any chasers on this right now, so we definitely would want to keep an eye on these.
Wes said $50 to ping pong ball size.
$50 ping pong ball size hail. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's see over by Frisco. Check on CC, see if there's anything. Okay, yeah, okay, there's actually some lower CCs in here. All right, Wes, thanks, good catch. We might be seeing a bit of hail in here. This is going to be in North Frisco, south of Highway 380. zoom in on the lower correlation coefficient. Okay, so we just got like right along Goodwin Drive, McGregor Drive, Longwood Drive. Again, where you're seeing the yellows and the greens showing up, you're going to actually see possibly some severe hail with here. So up to maybe, you said what, $50 or something on the street?
He said 1.25 to 1.5.
Okay. So yeah, possibly up to some ping pong ball size hail with this right now. Lil one must be pissed. They just got hit. And again, now, yeah, well, they get hit all the time. I don't know how some of you guys have your homeowners insurance here, if I'm going to be completely honest. It hails so much in this region. Let's kind of roll it back. Let's since we were jumping around, we kind of missed out a little bit on this hail that might be sneaking by us a little bit. Doesn't look like it's going to be the highest volume. This isn't going to be like the February storm in here, but it looks like we do have a fair bit of hail ongoing with this in North Frisco. Going back down to the area where the strongest winds may be, yeah, look at that little nose here in Frisco, now heading towards Allen, and there is still a little bit of that rotation with the storm as it keeps moving off to the north and east into Allen towards Highway 75. Again, those tornado sirens are going off, and that's for a good reason. You want to be in your tornado shelter for especially storms like these where they spin up. You can't, it's not like the long track tornadoes where you see them and they show up super clear and they can go for a long time. You got a lot of time to get out of the way, you know exactly where it's going. This could be, it spins up, happens for a minute or two, and then ends up going off to the north and to the east. I'm not seeing anything on correlation coefficient, which is good. Doesn't look like there's a debris ball with this, but there is definitely, regardless, you're going to see very strong winds. I wouldn't be surprised if the airport got some really intense ones. Yeah, Frank just queried up to 70 miles an hour. So that's, that's damaging winds, folks. You can knock down some trees with that and whatnot. So let's go ahead.
I feel like the velocity is lagging.
Yeah, the velocity is definitely lagging behind. So where did all hail, and can you give us, it looks like we actually have a little hail indicator first time in a minute with this. I'm assuming that's going to show up as probably sub-severe 1.4. Okay, there we go, a little bit bigger in there. So again, North Frisco, it looks like possibly the Little Elm area could have had some hail in there. Again, getting viewer reports of 1.25 to 1.5 even possible. Again, the maps are being made on our website right now. You can check them out live as they're happening, so we can get confirmation there. Look at that, yeah, in Frisco right here. If you switch it over to reflectivity, will that circle still stay there? It will, okay. So possibly some hail in here, but notice we're not seeing the really high reflectivity. You're not seeing the pink show up on radar, basically. If you're seeing the pink, that means there's probably a lot of hail falling. This looks like probably not a ton of hail falling, but still some hail ongoing right now. This is in Collin County here. So this is the North Dallas Metroplex. Let's zoom it out a little bit. We still have that tornado warning in effect, but we haven't seen, there's been no long-lived sustained tornadic activity or anything. I wouldn't be surprised after I get off the stream that the Mets in the other room are like, you idiot, you didn't talk about whatever, but we're trying to cover a lot at once. The team, they are diligently working, getting everything covered, so even if I'm maybe missing something within our stream, we're not missing anything behind the scenes. So you can, again, check all that out. It all gets updated live. If you purchase the map, whatever it is, you can get that, and it updates as the storms occur in real time. So this is the only storm happening right now that has any kind of severe weather with it in the Metroplex. It looks like the rest of this is just rain, kind of washing out the rest of the risk for Dallas-Fort Worth. We may be continuing on without a 5-star map still. So you want to probably check off down to the south a little bit again. How often does your radar update? It depends on which radar it is. I think Dallas is at 2.5 minutes. Assuming the San Antonio radar has been at 2.5 minutes, and if the Austin, Texas one, or if that one can get its act together, it'll probably go. Okay, looking here at the Elgin area, we still have that tornado, a tornado couplet in there. Let's bring up the Debris ball. Okay, it's down here. Oh, let's roll it back because Elgin might have been hit while we were talking about. Oh, dang! Look at that. Let's just keep push forward. That's your tornado. That was a big, nasty one. It might have just barely missed the majority of the town off to the south, but that tornado is still very much alive. So that's likely just now past Highway 290 here in Texas. So on the southern and eastern sections of Elgin, that's continuing to move off to the north and east. This could be a long track situation. I'm assuming this is still a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning. Hazlitt, I think you guys are probably done. I'm assuming still PDS?
Yes.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, we get away from Elgin, population goes down significantly. So, I mean, folks are obviously, every life is important, but there's a lower concentration of folks at risk. I'd rather see a big tornado over an open field than going and destroying people's lives. So, yeah, this data is indeed live. So, here at 6:53 Central Time. Man, Ryan Hall's getting a lot of love on our stream here, guys. Thanks, I guess. Going on to, let's see, we got other, not really any new reports. It looks like we have things winding down a fair bit in Austin right now. Looks like there may have been a couple tornadoes. The hail has been fairly minimal with this. Pushing off to the north here. More tornado warnings. Looks like we had one in the Temple area that has since passed Temple, and then pushing off to the north a bit more. I think that then brings Waco. Yep, okay, tornado warning now for the Waco area. I'm assuming this is moving off to the northeast?
Yeah, we can't bring the radar up, but I can query it here.
And it's one for $50 size sale. College Station, that's going to continue going off. That will continue off to the east a little bit. So you guys may see some stuff in a little bit. Austin may be a bit in the clear here. So what's this moving at, Frank?
Northeast at 40, radar indicated rotation.
Okay. So again, we're picking up from Dallas. We can kind of see it. We can probably see it okay. Let's go ahead and look. Dang it. Well, that's what happens when you're far away from the radar, folks. Question, so did Austin get messed up roofing-wise? We'll have to check back in on that. I think there wasn't crazy big hail, even though all indications were pointing to that. But we did, looks like there were some gusty winds and definitely a couple tornadoes, especially in the Round Rock area. Depending on how strong those tornadoes were, we'll determine how it messed up the roofing situations. Either going to be the roof got blown off or you're going to have a roof damage along that tornadic track. So again, moving northeast. So if this is moving northeast, can you kind of roll the radar back a little bit, Frank? I know we're picking up from Dallas and it'll look a little messy, but can we see the general? Okay, so it's pretty much going just to the east of I-35. So the eastern sections of Waco will, if there are any kind of tornadic activity, that will be coming up here. So there you go. Golinda, Robinson around 7 o'clock, Hallsburg at 7:19, Axtell at 7:28, and 7:38 Prairie Hill. Okay, so that's tornado warning right now. We can clear that out. Again, this is heading generally towards Waco, but notice there isn't a ton of hail with this. I know, again, we're a little bit further away from the radar, so it'll look a little messier, but even if we were far away from the radar, if there was a ton of big hail, it would be showing up. So, let's see, folks got another tornado warning to the south here. We're unfortunately unable to, can't really see this one too great, down by Rogers. We're really far away from the radar in here, so this is unfortunate. Again, when you have some radar issues, we're kind of limited to what we can see within this system here. Let's check back out. Maybe let's just jump back over to the Dallas area and keep kind of going up and down. If you're just joining us, we've had a bunch of different storms ongoing, and here in the Dallas area, we've had some gusty winds and even a little bit of hail with this. Looks like McKinney now, you're going to see those gusty winds in a few minutes, very soon here. Now we're almost at the 7 o'clock, top of the 7 o'clock hour. Yeah, so those gusty winds moving in again over 60 miles an hour likely. Could DFW see more severe weather later tonight? As of right now, probably looking a little unlikely, as this squall line is probably washing out a lot of the risk area. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a severe thunderstorm warning to replace this tornado warning pretty soon here across McKinney and other sections of northeastern sections of Collin County, unless there is a tornado warning. No, those are roads. So, but otherwise, I think the majority of actually now the entirety of the tornado warning section of Collin County and far eastern sections of Denton County will likely be dropped pretty soon, because that risk has moved east of the polygons. So I expect a new warning to be issued, probably a severe thunderstorm warning for the northern half of Collin County. So that does include the center of McKinney here in a little bit. And that'll continue pushing off to the north and to the east. All right. So otherwise, Dallas-Fort Worth, heavy rain, some gusty winds, lots of thunder and lightning. Further to the south, it looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning just kind of blanketed across the southern counties of the Metroplex, including Waxahachie and down towards Hillsborough. And then further south, we have that tornado warning down by the Waco area. Waco is partially in on that tornado warning, and then I see another one down here. This is where things get a little tougher to see because we're getting farther away from the radar that should actually be live but isn't. And now it looks like the storm that had the big tornado that may have impacted parts of Elgin is now heading towards the town of Rockdale. That tornado warning is now in effect, as that'll be in effect till 7:45 p.m.
So this is no longer a PDS. It is tornado quarter-size hail and radar-indicated rotation.
Okay, so now let's kind of zoom in here. Let's see if we can still see any debris or a tight couplet with this storm. Okay, the couplets look, I mean, we're also getting far away from the radar, but there's still debris. It's very possible we have a can't tell if it's a debris ball. It might still be a debris ball. So it's very possible we still have a tornado ongoing with this. We're starting to get kind of far away from the available radars we have. So the further away you get, the higher up into the sky the radar beam is, which means farther up into the storm that you're getting return from. So you get a kind of a crappier look at the storm the higher up that tilt is going to be, especially when you're looking for something that's happening at the surface like a tornado. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. We are starting to move away from a lot more people, a lot more rural areas in here, and hopefully the town downstream from this, what was it, Rockdale? Rockford? One of those? Rockdale. Hopefully this will weaken by the time it gets all the way to the Rockdale area. Let's kind of bring it out back to a more regional look across. So I think Austin itself, notice everything is shifted off to the east. The dry line / cold front is heading towards you. The biggest hail we've seen so far today is in the New Braunfels area. So between San Antonio and Austin, we had 2-inch hail there. Further off to the north, couple other tornado warnings. We have one heading towards the Waco area, and then even further off to the north into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for places like Waxahachie and Hillsborough, with possibly some gusty winds here, straight line winds with that. And then finally off to the north here in McKinney, looks like they've completely dropped. They didn't reissue a severe thunderstorm warning. They completely dropped the tornado warning as well in Collin County. So the storm may actually be weakening a bit with this. Still expect a lot of heavy rain, gusty winds, thunder, and lightning in McKinney right now as this all pushes off to the east. Chances are we're not going to see too much else across Dallas, across Fort Worth. we'll see what this tornado warning storm brings in the Waco area. And then it looks like the Austin area is in the clear. San Antonio, you're done. So other areas that we're going to keep an eye on, College Station, possibly Houston much later. But I think the hail size potential in Houston was already pretty low, and I think it's going to maintain that through the night. With that, we've been live here for a while. Thanks as always for tuning in. I know the comment section was super chatty within this one. Thanks as always for watching. Thanks to our sponsors. We're going to wrap things up here for now. If anything else happens, or it looks like Waco might have a more active, possibly a tornado, we may come back pretty soon here. Follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that great stuff, all at Hail Trace. Thanks for watching, guys. You can give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have. Got to purchase any of our products here. As always, you can come give us a call there. Email us info@HailTrace, or visit our website at hailtrace.com. You can chat with us in the lower right-hand corner of the screen directly on our website. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the next video.